Hello, thanks for joining us again on the channel. I've always been curious about this one, and now that a friend picked one up, we can finally talk about it. His experience, start to finish. Quick note before we begin. There's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
To get things started, let's hear from our first reviewer.
This reviewer shared that after a long search for the right display, they settled on this particular monitor. It now serves double duty as a second screen for their main computer and as a display for a gaming console. Overall, our reviewer found it to be a very good panel, although they noted that with a 1080p resolution at the screen size, individual pixels can be noticeable up close, and images don't always have the crispest clarity. That said, this was their first experience with a refresh rate higher than 60Hz, and the smoothness of 75Hz was a seriously impressive and welcome upgrade over the standard. One of the standout positive features for this client was the included stand, which they praised as being excellent. The ability to easily adjust the height and tilt, and especially to pivot the entire monitor into a vertical portrait mode for specific tasks, was a huge plus often found on more expensive models. The user experience was also enhanced by the small joystick on the back used to navigate the on-screen display, a far more intuitive solution than the frustrating button setups on many older monitors they had used. However, there were a couple of disappointments. The connectivity is quite limited, with only a single HDMI port. This forced our reviewer to purchase an external switcher to toggle between their computer and console. A more significant issue was the audio situation. Despite what might have been suggested on the product page, this model had neither built-in speakers nor an audio out jack, meaning an entirely separate solution was needed to get sound from connected devices. They also noticed that enabling the 75Hz mode initially washed out the colors, but this was easily corrected by adjusting the contrast and gamma settings. For someone looking for a monitor that packs in some genuinely premium features, this seems to be a very solid choice.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer purchased this monitor primarily for their son's virtual school setup and found it to be an excellent piece of equipment for that purpose. Right away, our reviewer was impressed with its excellent visual quality, describing the display as very clear, bright, and detailed. The physical setup was also a highlight. This client appreciated the wonderful stand, which attached to the screen without any screws thanks to a simple latch mechanism. The ease of height adjustment was another key feature, proving especially important for getting the ergonomics just right for a child. The integrated features performed well for their needs. The onboard camera was considered superb and included a large green LED to clearly indicate when it was active. While our reviewer uses an external microphone and couldn't comment on the one built in, they found the speakers to be a definite step up from their laptops, offering not just more volume but also much better sound definition. There was a small hiccup right out of the box, as the monitor initially wouldn't power on. However, this was quickly resolved by simply touching an exit button on the back, and the issue has not happened since, suggesting it might have been a minor factory setting quirk. Although initially worried that the screen wouldn't be a large enough upgrade from a laptop, our reviewer found it to be the perfect size for their elementary school student. It provided a significantly larger workspace without being so big that it became overwhelming. A final useful touch was the display's blue light filter mode for nighttime use. Overall, this client was extremely glad they purchased this monitor, considering it an A+ fit for their home office and school needs, and highly recommends it.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer, like many others thrust into the world of remote work, quickly discovered an unexpected casualty of the home office transition: the loss of a second monitor. Accustomed to the productivity boost of dual screens for tasks like grading papers, building presentations, and crunching data with software like SPSS and Excel, our reviewer found the constant alt-tabbing between windows increasingly frustrating. So they decided to purchase this monitor to complement their existing 24-inch display. The experience has been overwhelmingly positive. The setup was remarkably simple, taking less than 10 minutes to unbox, assemble the stand, and connect the monitor to their Dell desktop via HDMI. Windows recognized the new display immediately, and they were up and running in no time. While there's a slight difference in color temperature between this monitor and their older one, it's a minor issue that doesn't detract significantly from the overall experience. This client mainly needed a device that does not flicker and would allow them to keep a close eye on their activities. If they were starting from scratch and weren't drawn to the idea of a curved display, our reviewer says they would happily purchase 2 of these monitors.
That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Let's chat in the comments. See you in the next one.